Coming up on this week's edition of Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. The Vikings say goodbye to Mankato as they conclude training camp and continue their focus on the regular season.
This is a big year for us, and I think we can really do some great things this year.
Plus, a Vikings legend finally gets honored as one of the game's greatest.
I think it's fantastic. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
Follow two rookies who are turning plenty of heads in the first few weeks of the season.
I know that my body is the most important thing in this game, so if I just stay on top of that and take care of it, then I'll be fine.
And we go inside the Vikings' visit to Canton as they take in the game's rich history.
They appreciate all the people that have played before them and what they've done for the game.
It's all next on this week's edition of Vikings Beyond the Gridiron.
I don't know any better than hard work. And I want our football team to have that mentality.
Strong work ethic and you're mentally tough, then you're going to get the job done. Have the opportunity to wear the purple and gold.
This here is just to show that I'll compete at a high level, lead this team.
We're starting to develop some toughness, we're starting to develop some heart, and we're starting to develop some mental fortitude, okay? We got to make sure we keep doing that. We had some great situation work tonight, red zone, 2-minute, blitz in the red zone. We had some great situations. And those situations are going to come down to the end of the ball game when we have to win. Those are the critical situations. We've got to be great on both sides of the ball.
Playing smart, learning from mistakes, and coming together as a team has been a common message all training camp for the Minnesota Vikings. It's been long days of practices, meetings, and the endless grind of camp. As the Vikings say goodbye to Mankato for another summer, they do so hoping the lessons learned carry over to success come September.
This is our time to, fine-tune the things that we need to before the season hits. So, you're going to be tired, you're going to be sore, but you just got to push through it. And this is when you win your jobs too, and prove that you can play at a high level.
Training camps bring out the best in players as the intensity is high, with 90 players fighting for 53 jobs. Every drill, snap, and play is magnified in the battle for starting roles, roster spots, and NFL lives.
When the 53-man roster is put together, the main goal is to be able to go out there and win a championship. So you don't want to get caught up in, oh, I'm trying to play better than this guy, or you're watching another guy. You just want to go out there and play best and make the other guy better, and try to make the team better.
I try to look at each position and see where I think we need to improve that position, but these are the guys we have, and so we're going to try to make them the best players that we can be, and how we can fit them all together. I think all these things, these guys will get plenty of in-game action, and some guys, when the game lights come on, they perform much better.
A lot of those guys fighting for those last couple of roster spots, and even fighting to be active on game day, those guys separate themselves during the preseason on special teams, and how they show up on special teams can make or break a guy making a 53 or making a practice squad or even being active on game day.
With the 50th training camp in Mankato now in the books, the Vikings head back to Eden Prairie and begin their journey toward September 14th and the season opener in San Francisco. While that opener is still nearly a month away, the players know the mindset and mentality shifts as they become more focused on the rapidly approaching regular season.
Now the shift back to, the reality, man, and that's playing football. We're going to be back at home and just to get ready for the upcoming season.
Kind of a chance to, practice what you want to work on in the season and kind of fine-tune your skill set before the season starts. So once that first regular season game hits, you're ready to go.
Getting the team to understand the things that we have to do to win football games, not necessarily against San Francisco or anybody else, but the most important thing is getting them to understand how we can win games together.
We can't lose a day out here. We can't be out here just lollygagging. We got to really lock in every day and expect our craft to be higher than it was yesterday or last year, because this is a big year for us, and I think we can really do some great things this year.
I've never seen so many happy faces as I have in Nick Dingelhoff's enshrinement.
Coming up, one of the most feared centers in the game's history gets his chance to put on the gold jacket. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. Vikings Beyond the Gridiron is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of the Minnesota Vikings, by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the Minnesota Vikings, and by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings and proud sponsor of U.S. Bank Stadium. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has 295 members inside these prestigious walls. The biggest names in the long history of the game. Legends, record breakers, and icons all have their place in the Hall of Fame. For some, the journey to Canton was easy. For others, achieving the sport's highest award took time and patience.
I think it's fantastic. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. But that's just the way it goes. You know, there are some guys that just get, you know, put through the cracks. Mick deserves it. Like I said, he should have been here 15 years ago. But, you know, those things happen, and now it doesn't matter. You know, he's in.
What took so long is, a lot of us have said this for years, because he certainly deserved it. I don't know, I thought he played 16 or 17 years, and he was in the All-Pro and the Pro Bowl for many years and so forth. So we just kind of wonder why it took so long.
37 years after making his final snap in the NFL, Mick Tingelhoff got the well-deserved honor of donning the gold jacket as a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
If you were to have one person to represent the Vikings in history, a caricature, I mean, it would be Mick Tingelhoff and Jim Marshall. They were our captains for so many years. They were leaders on and off the field. So the people who know Mick and played with Mick, coached Mick, hobnobbed with Mick and Phyllis, I've never seen so many happy faces as I have in Mick Tingelhoff's enshrinement.
He's a walking legend, and you talk about the culture of football, you know, that was Mick Tingelhoff.
His entire 19-year career was all in purple, earning 6 trips to the Pro Bowl and playing an amazing 240 straight games. Last weekend, with the Vikings in Canton for the Hall of Fame game, there wasn't a better way to end the former center's long wait to be enshrined.
Glad to see him in the Hall of Fame. He's the best center that I've seen in the 35 years that I coached. I coached 23 years as a pros, and he's the best guy, player from a player standpoint I've ever seen, and from a standpoint of a human being and the type of man that he is. There's nobody better than Mick Tingelhoff.
With his former quarterback and fellow Hall of Famer Fran Tarkington presenting him, the pair took the stage together as the 13th Viking was enshrined in Canton.
Mick's a man of little words, but a lot of action. He's so proud to be in this class of 2015. He waited 37 years to get to the Hall of Fame. He just wanted me to tell all of his teammates who are here and thank them for being here. Our great coach and fellow Hall of Famer, Bud Grant, all the Viking fans who have come from all over the country, and all the rest of you fans, and even you Steeler fans who beat us in that Super Bowl. Thank you.
Tingelhoff may not have been the headline name in the 2015 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, but there wasn't a more deserving member to enter the football's greatest fraternity. Mick Tingelhoff dominated the Vikings' offensive line for nearly 2 decades, but was overlooked for over 30 years to join the prestigious walls of the Hall of Fame. No matter how long the wait, the ability to put on the gold jacket and have that bust is something very few will ever get to do.
Well, I was very happy for Mick. It's been a long time coming. I think Mick earned his Hall of Fame credentials long before I got here. I got here and Mick was already solid and ready for the Hall of Fame, and I'm so happy to see him in there after all these years, and I'm glad he was able to, him and his family are able to enjoy it.
It's just the greatest honor that you could imagine. And what's been so great is that all his teammates and friends and, of course, family, but they've all been so supportive and so happy for him. They've really shown, you know, just that they were so happy for him.
A wonderful occasion to honor Mick in this way, and to be a small part of it was really gratifying. Can't remember when I've been happier for anybody for a long time than I am for Mick Tingelhoff. But this is a very great tribute to a great football player.
Everything else will fall into place. Hopefully good things happen, but I know I'm going to be at it each and every day.
Coming up, get to know two rookies that have made quite an impression throughout camp. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. It's the little things that can make the biggest difference.
Well, usually before I go to sleep or when I'm just hanging out, I use my foot massager or my Game Ready or my back massager. You know, just getting a little soreness out.
The tricks learned to help preserve the body.
I've been in a couple camps already in college and things like that, so I already have a general idea how sore you're going to be and things like that, but this is obviously another level. So I just try to stay on top of it. You know, my feet may not be hurting that bad, or, you know, things may not be that wrong with me, but I just be proactive about it and stay on top of it.
Vikings rookie linebacker Eric Kendrick spends his off time maintaining his body in his first training camp, knowing the importance of staying healthy and being ready to play.
I play linebacker, so I mean, that's not the most dating position you could play. So I just have to stay on top of my body. I know that my body is the most important thing in this game, so if I just stay on top of that and take care of it, then I'll be fine.
With his roommate, first-round pick Trey Waynes, Kendricks quickly learned the ropes of his first NFL training camp and has shown plenty of progress in just 3 weeks in the field. While still early in his days with the Vikings, the second-round pick is excited to contribute in 2015.
At first, I was a little scrambling a little bit, trying to, you know, probably do too much, flying around a little bit too crazy with my head cut off, but I feel like I'm starting to settle in, understand the plays a little bit more, and I'm starting to get comfortable.
With the Vikings' crowded depth and talented linebacker, getting playing time will be a constant battle for the former UCLA star. But from what he has shown thus far, plenty of good things are ahead for Eric Kendricks.
He's a great student of the game. He wants to get everything right the first time. He's not always going to do it, but he gets on himself if he doesn't. But he's very active, instinctive guy. He's all over the field, and you just know he's a football player.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick to my game. I know none of that really means anything. It's just practice. I got to translate it to the game. So I'm still humble, and I'm still going to work hard and do what I got to do.
While much attention is put on early round picks, later round selections can sometimes go through camp under the radar. But that hasn't quite been the case in Mankato. Turning heads and making a big impression has been 5th round draft pick Stefon Diggs.
Mainly it's just as far as getting better, making people notice that'll happen on itself if I take care of what I need to take care of as far as just doing my job. Everything else will fall into place.
The speedster came into camp fighting to make an impression with the Vikings, heavy on depth at wide receiver. But his skills have quickly shown, and the playmaker has been making big plays, including a near touchdown return in the preseason opener.
Yeah, it's not so much dealing with the praise or anything like that. I'm not really in it for any of that. I'm more in it so just to keep getting better. I just really want to get better each and every day. So as far as dealing with anything good, I haven't reached that point yet. I really just want to keep getting better.
Earning respect has been a regular occurrence for Diggs throughout his life. After a standout prep career, Diggs decided to stay at home and attend the University of Maryland. He fought through a few injuries during his collegiate career, including a lacerated kidney, but still found a way to prosper.
Just as far as knowing how to battle adversity, just as far as tackling it face on, I don't run from anything. I more so like to tackle my challenges head on.
Now he's looking to shine on the game's highest level, in purple with the Vikings. His climb to break through the crowded pack of wide receivers to get on the field is still a challenge. But there's no doubt Stefon Diggs is quickly making a name for himself in his rookie camp.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep doing my job. Everything else will fall into place. Hopefully good things happen, but I know I'm gonna be at it each and every day.
God's willing, next time I come here, I'll be getting inducted.
Coming up, follow the Vikings as they get a chance to see and learn the game's rich history firsthand in Canton. That's next on Vikings Beyond the Gridiron. Vikings Beyond the Gridiron is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of the Minnesota Vikings, by Verizon, the official wireless partner of the Minnesota Vikings, and by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings and proud sponsor of U.S. Bank Stadium. For a football fan, Canton, Ohio may be the closest thing to heaven. It was the birthplace of the NFL back in 1920 with the American Professional Football Association. It holds some of the biggest fans of the pigskin and, of course, home to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But every August, this football hotspot gets even better with the annual Hall of Fame enshrinement and the Hall of Fame game to kick off a new season of football. The Minnesota Vikings saw firsthand the impressive passion and history for the game. It brought the team into the national spotlight and gave them a chance to take in and appreciate the game's history.
If I didn't have this, I would buy it, but I already have it.
The NFL all-time career sack leader, 200, was a dominant player during his 200 sacks. Woo, woo.
See if which one I'm the closest to.
That's reasonable. Yeah, it's certainly an honor to be able to come here to the Hall of Fame and check it out. It's something that I've always wanted to be able to come and do, and it's just a great opportunity with Mick going in this year to be able to come there and take advantage of the opportunity. So it's pretty cool. Learn a lot of history and just see a lot of cool things.
Well, I just think they appreciate all the people that have played before them and what they've done for the game. It's nice to see this year's Super Bowl trophy. I think the guys really like seeing all the Super Bowl rings and then a lot of the past history and former great Vikings.
I mean, it was awesome. I've never been here before, but to come in and see how the league started and just the way it's progressed over the years is amazing. And then you get to see all the people that you've looked up to over the years of watching football. Just being able to come in and see their bust and things like that, it's just truly great.
It feels amazing. It's a great experience to come in and check out the great ones before me, and to know that I potentially have the opportunity to have one of these these statues of me as well. I kind of just think about it, it's a blessing, and it just goes to show how much the good Lord has blessed me with a tremendous ability. So I'm just enjoying myself and taking it all in, and God's willing, next time I come here, I'll be getting inducted.
After sightseeing the Hall, it was down to business for the Vikings as the team kicked off the 2015 season in prime time on national TV in front of a sold-out crowd in Canton.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, it's different than playing in, you know, the big NFL stadiums, but, you know, it was still a great atmosphere, a great crowd. You know, it's cool touring the Hall of Fame yesterday, and it was just a good experience.
It's really cool. You know, I had the opportunity, being an Ohio kid, I've been here a couple times. They play the Ohio High School state finals up here, so to come up as a kid, you know, when you idolize football players, playing in the high school game, it's pretty cool. And then you come over here now, obviously much older, and in the league, and you know, these are the immortals of our game, and you know, guys that I've idolized, guys that I've watched growing up. So it's pretty cool to come back in a different stage of life, and you know, to see it as a kid and to see it now as a player in the NFL.
There was no doubt each and every member of the Vikings had a chance to appreciate the game of football and the sport's long history. Seeing the greats of the game, learning the history, and playing on a national stage made this a weekend all players will never forget. The preceding has been a presentation of the Vikings Entertainment Network.